When I saw the trailer for Control, it looked so awesome. I knew I just had to play it. So as soon as the game released on Steam, I promptly waited about a year for it to be free on the Epic Games Store. And a few months after that, I actually got around to playing it. Yeah, I'm one of those guys. Anyway, when I did finally play the game, it was awesome. I could go into some of the things that made the game so great, or even cover some of the not as great parts, but this isn't a review, so just know Control was great and I recommend it. No, in this video I want to talk about one particular level in Control, and then ask a question to game developers out there to encourage them to make the best game they can. The level I want to talk about is agreed upon by anyone who has played Control as the best segment of the game, the Ashtray Maze. In the lore of the game, the Ashtray Maze is a supernatural environment that prevents unauthorized people from getting to a section of the supernatural facility in which the game takes place. One of the only ways to traverse the maze is to use some special headphones, and if you do, a special song titled Take Control by the band Old Gods of Asgard will play. Then you can cross through. This level is awesome. The main reason this segment is so great is because the developers were so self-aware of their own game. They knew what components made Control unique and special. They knew what the best bits of their game were. They knew what was the most fun, and so they created a level with only those best bits and put an incredible song behind it. They were so confident that this was the best level, they even go as far as to low-key brag about it through the player's character.
That was awesome.
The game director, Mikael Kasurinen, had this to say about it in an audiolog episode for GameSpot.
As we worked on it and kind of taking the music into account and trying to get a feel of what are we doing overall, there's this simple kind of phrase that we use, like less is more, like let's just focus on the essential thing. Let's leave out elements that makes you pause and think about things that are necessarily not the focus right now. The focus is to have this energetic battle, this fight through this complex shifting place, and just leave everything else out.
So if someone were to sum up in a positive way the essence of Control, they might say it is a fight with supernatural beings using supernatural powers in a complex yet simple shifting environment, driven by story. The Ashtray Maze takes this simple core essence of Control and turns it up to max. Many games do this. Most often they save it for the final level or the last boss. It's a moment where the player has gained all the skills they need and now can flex their new muscles. It's like the developers are saying, hey, you know that experience we promised you'd get to live if you played our game? Now is that moment. So my question for developers is this: what is your game's Ashtray Maze? If you could put all the best bits of your game into one level, what would that look like? If you made a segment that was only the core concept of your game and the promised experience, how would that feel? Even if you don't have a segment like that in your final release, it would still be beneficial to make, or at least imagine. Doing so could help you become a little more self-aware of the game you are making. All I'm trying to say is the developer of a game should know what makes their game good. And if you do, then you are that much more likely to make something awesome.